Guys, we've got a very special shipping video for you today because we've got 10 guitars going out, but every one is a different model. I just noticed that as I was starting to put the lineup together, but 10 different models going to 5 different countries and 10 individuals. And we actually have one individual that's called in here to pick up his guitar in person, and that's Lance, and we're going to be talking to him a little bit later. So what we've got is we've got an Amicus, we've got an X10, we've got an X10 Slimline, an X10 Slimline Nylon, we've got a Virtuo, an X20, an X30 12 string, a Chimera, we've got a Synergy harp guitar that's got fan frets, that's really cool, and a 4-string acoustic bass. So yeah, very, very interesting lineup. And as always, if you haven't watched the shipping video before, what we're going to do is talk down through the different models, have a look at the specifications, the colors, cosmetics, the hardware details on any given model, tell you a little bit about them, and we'll give a call out to where they're going and who they're going to. So it's just a nice way of us acknowledging the variety of the guitars that we've made in the week previous, and connecting with the people that they're going out to around the world. So the first one that we have today is going out to Lance from Costa Rica, and it's a really fantastic Amicus, and Lance is going to tell us a little bit about why he chose that Amicus, but yeah, he chose some really beautiful details. The veneer on this Amicus is redwood burl, and it's got this really, really cool pattern. So we find these interesting redwood burls, and we book match them to give that really nice kind of mirrored pattern. And I just love the way this is positioned, just coming down around, almost mirrors the bridge. Very, very similar shape going on here to match the bridge profile, and this wonderful burl that's happening down and around the bottom. So just the shape of it, the look of it, the visual really, really matches the contours of the body. We've got an inlay here, and it's our vine inlay done in black, and we did a little bit of something extra for Lance, and it's a logo that he uses here that kind of connects with what he does as a kayak fisherman. So he might tell us a little bit more about this in a few minutes, and that little bit of flash of red going on there. Back and sides is red carbon, black hardware, and that's a beauty. So we're going to go upstairs and have a little conversation with Lance. You want to hear this because he's got a very interesting story, and very much connects to what we do here. So it's great to be able to do the shipping videos and talk about where they're going to, but it's even better whenever we get somebody to actually come in and get their guitar in person. So Lance, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, why are you in this area at the moment? Tell us a little bit about your travels and who you are.
Well, my name's Lance Clinton. I live in Costa Rica. I grew up in the United States, but I moved to Costa Rica 26 years ago and kind of started a new life for myself there. And I've been a passionate hobbyist guitar player for a long time. And also my main interest is kayak fishing.
Wow.
I live right on the coast in Central America, and I got an amazing fishery right in my backyard. So I lived there for several years before I kind of knocked myself on the head and wondered, like, why am I not fishing? So I was poor, so I bought myself a kayak. I couldn't afford a boat. Got out there and started fishing, and I became really passionate about it, and I got kind of okay at it. And I think one of the reasons I got good at it made me think about you and this whole journey you're on. I think one of the reasons I got good at it was I just didn't realize that I couldn't be. So I just did it, you know, and I just woke up every day.
I think I've used that phrase a few times as well.
Yeah. I often say I didn't want to be insulted. I always say I was too stupid to know that I couldn't do it, you know. Yeah. And so I woke up every day, and I just, I paid the fiddler every day, you know. I get up at 4 a.m. and I get out there and I just pound it day after day after day. And I think most people, there's probably a lot of people in the world, if they worked that hard at it, they'd probably be better fishermen than me. But there ain't many people who work harder than me. So, you know, here I am. And I'm here. The reason I'm here is I'm actually on my way. I'm on the U.S. National Saltwater Kayak Fishing Team. I'm actually the coach of that team. And we're on our way to Spain. We just won the Pan Am event in Costa Rica, and we're on our way to Spain, to Valencia, to compete in the World Finals. And
wow.
Yeah, here we go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find your thing, and you've had that dedication and the passion,
I have.
and you've been able to take it to the world level. Yeah, sounds kind of familiar.
It's easy when you're enjoying it, isn't it? Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's never easy, but it's easier. You know, you're motivated at least.
Yeah, yeah. So along the way, you managed to find carbon fiber guitars.
I did. Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was like 18, and because I was going to be famous. I was going to get all the girls, and everybody was going to like, you know, wow. And I practiced hard for about a year, and I was still terrible. So I didn't play any more guitar. And then later in life, as I became an older man, I decided like maybe I want to play the guitar just for me, and maybe I want to be a musician just for me. And I picked it back up and I started playing, and I just fell in love with music. I like writing music. I like playing. I'm not great at either one of them, but boy, do I like it. You know, I just enjoy it. And you know what else I enjoy is like really high-end, finely crafted instruments. And I've bought quite a few of them, and I've brought quite a few of them to Central America, and it's painful.
And how does that go down?
It's terrible. It's terrible. You bring a $5,000 Martin to Costa Rica, and you play it in the guitar shop in Louisiana or Florida or Arizona, and it sounds wonderful. And you bring it down there, and 6 months later, the action's that high at the 12th fret, and the neck is crooked, and you're in Costa Rica looking for somebody competent to fix a high-end guitar, and even if they don't deform, even if you can, you know, keep them from warping, the sound changes.
Yeah.
You know, in that high humidity, they absorb that water, and they sounds like it's full of dirty socks after 6 months. So I've been on the hunt for a few years for a solution, and I was lucky enough to get to play it was an X20. I was in Atlanta, actually, and there was a used one for sale there.
Okay.
And I played it, and I was like, yeah. I know all about carbon fiber. I've been a surfer my whole life. I've worked with carbon fiber. I know how stable it is.
Yeah, so it was a familiar material to you.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be a problem. My question was I going to enjoy the sonic qualities?
Yeah.
You know? So when I picked that X20 up, I was like, oh, this sounds really good, you know? There's no reason not to own one of these. And I ordered my first one. It was an X30. Blown away by like with carbon fiber, I was expecting it to be a little bit, maybe kind of brittle, maybe kind of like cold, and it was the exact opposite. I mean, that X30 was so warm. It had so much.
That big cord just exploded.
Oh yeah. I remember the first thing I did with that X30 is I strummed an open E chord, and it was just like, you know.
That'll get you.
Yeah. I was sold from day one.
Yeah.
I know.
No, that's very cool. I mean, it sounds like kind of a similar journey that we've had here, you know, and you know, you went off and you found that thing that you just love doing, and that's what it's been for us. You know, you know a little bit about my story and how I found a passion for guitars, and then I connected it through working with carbon fiber building race boats, you know, so the water has been a big part of my story as well. And I just loved doing it so much that, you know, I was too stupid. Definitely I was too stupid in the early days to know how hard it was going to be to make a company building guitars.
Thankfully, you didn't know everything you know now back then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's been a long journey, but it's great. But I love enabling people to be able to play in unusual conditions. You know, I love making a great guitar that sounds great everywhere. It has to just be a great guitar, because you can't make excuses for it that, you know, it doesn't sound so good, but it's great in this climate, and that's not really going to cut it. It has to be a great sounding instrument. But it's a great bonus when people can be in, you know, in Florida or Costa Rica and places like that, and not have to worry. And actually, we've got quite a few guitars have gone to Costa Rica.
Really?
Actually, the very first guitar that I ever put a wood veneer on went to Costa Rica, and it was an X30, and it had quilted Honduran mahogany.
Wow.
On the top of it. It was a beautiful guitar. So it's And,
I thought maybe I was the only one that had one in Costa Rica.
No,
apparently
no,
not.
no.
You guys
there's a few others, and
All
that
right.
was, I think I made that one probably 20 years ago. So yeah, it's.
Well, I'm spreading the word. Let's see if we can get a few more.
I
Happy
appreciate that,
folks.
So tell me a little bit about fishing from a kayak, because I do a lot of fishing, but it's normally from the shore or from a boat.
The deal with fishing from a kayak, when I first started doing it, it was because I was too poor to buy a boat. Now I have a boat, and I still fish from the kayak. You know, it's such a different experience. Sometimes I've likened it to the difference between playing a steel string guitar and playing nylon. When you're in a kayak, there's no motor, there's no noise, and you're this far from the water. So you have a much more intimate relationship with your direct environment. You know, whatever's in the water is that far away from you. You know, you're
fully connected there.
Yeah, and even the lack of like the smell of petrol or the sound of an engine. Like when you're trolling with a lure behind you, everything's silent. You're quiet. You know, you're by yourself too. You're in this full-on like God space. You know, I don't know how else to describe it, and you're just going along. And so if you're in a boat and that you're trolling a lure and it gets hit, you hear the motor and you see the line running, whatever. You're in the kayak. And it's like, you know, like everything is so much more visceral. And I don't know, it's exciting.
I'll have to try it sometime.
You throw it out there, and I mean, yeah, you got some good waters here. And here's the deal: you get out in the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. It's not like fishing for trout in Grandpa's pond. You throw a lure out behind you, and brother, anything can happen. Any given moment.
You don't know what you're going to get.
So there's always an underlying sense of tension.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting.
Beautiful.
So you've chosen an Amicus. Let's take a look at it. An absolutely beautiful one. I think that the veneer in that is really quite something. Very, very special. So the Amicus, tell me why you chose the Amicus as your third emerald.
Well, I have a lot of reasons. The first reason was because I kind of got addicted to buying emeralds because I like them so much, and I felt like I needed another one, but I knew I didn't really need another one. So I was scouring the website and the YouTube videos looking for something that was like, I got to have a why when I buy something, you know. I had a why when I bought my X30, which was I needed something impervious to the weather and the conditions. And I needed I wanted something smaller with a more balanced sound, so I got an X10. So my sonic, whys were pretty well covered, I thought. And but I wanted another one. So I found something that was unique. I don't own a 12 string. This is a completely different sound that you get out of this. It's a much higher pitch, like you've said before in the video. This is like the pitch of capoing a standard guitar on the 10th fret.
Yeah.
So you're getting a much higher, much higher sound out of it, much higher pitch out of it. But one of the reasons I bought it too is I do so much traveling, which that goes back to the impervious natures of these guitars. One of the reasons I like these guitars, not just my environment, but I'll get on planes and I'll go to Colorado to the mountains. I'll go to Asia. I'll go to Europe. And man, being on airplanes and just changing the environment all the time is really rough on wood guitars. So I've got that covered, but now I've got something that's super tiny that I just can't imagine really getting hassled too much by this, getting on the airplane.
It's pretty simple.
It's a great little travel guitar. And you bring it places and like, people are interested in it too because it's so unique and it's so radical, and the sound. People have never heard anything like this, Yeah. It's really neat.
Very cool. So do you ever take a guitar out on the kayak with you?
No, not in the kayak. It's just I surf launch and big surf. Like I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear. But we do overnight boat trips sometimes, going far out. And this would be something perfect for that too, Like you don't want to bring a big giant, guitar on the boat, but something like this is it's such a carry everything guitar. And you think about other things from like an outdoor lifestyle. If you go camping, I'm not going to bring my Martin camping with me. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing that in the rainy season in Costa Rica, whatever. But this, from the weight, from the size, and from the material standpoint, this is it's a perfect little guitar to bring on a camping trip, outdoor adventures. I live right next to the beach. I can go play on the beach and the rocks. The sunlight's hitting me. I would never do that with a wood guitar,
Yeah.
I'm not bringing rosewood to the salty 95-degree beach in Costa Rica.
No, it wouldn't be ideal, but so it's great. You can hopefully take what might become your favorite guitar and be happy to take it wherever you want.
Yeah.
So it'll give you a lot of freedom. Well, listen, it's been fantastic to have you hear some of your stories, and we wish you luck on your travels.
Yeah. And thanks so much for the opportunity to come. I've been real keen to meet you, Alistair, because I'll say this last thing, I always appreciate people who are doing what you guys are doing here. I mean, this is, not only is it amazing, I think it's important. It's important for people, it's important for us as human beings, for people to have the courage and the insanity and everything else to say, I can do something better. Yeah. This is what's changed our species, you know? I mean, like, I know it's just guitars, but it's not about the guitars. It's about what you're doing here. You know, to be able to think outside the box, to be able to have the courage to do original and amazing things. That's why I want to come meet you guys. So it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well, I think we're kind of like-minded in that way. Just not thinking about the normal way to do life. Yeah. Find something that's rewarding and sticking at it and making it your own, and yeah, that's what we've done here. So I appreciate you saying that. It's great to know that our work is making that impact.
Thanks. And you know, there's one other thing I wanted to add. We can use it or not, but you know, we can edit. But there's a thing we were talking about earlier about. I was thinking about my own journey, and you may be able to relate to this. In my own journey, like, especially as I get older, I'm a 55-year-old man now, and I'm a novice guitarist. I mean, I'm just an everyday couch playing, you know, I'm all right. Strum a few chords here and there, but I'm not great at it. And sometimes I tell myself, like, what are you doing? You're 55. You don't have time. You're never going to be Marcin. You're never going to be Tommy Emmanuel. There's just not time, you know. And then I'm like, that's crazy, because it's right now, and I'm good right now, and I'm sitting on the couch with an emerald guitar, and I'm playing songs. Every night my girlfriend tells me, thank you so much, because you bring so much warmth and energy and good vibrations and everything in the home. She loves for me to play. I don't need to be Tommy Emmanuel, man. I just need to be present and enjoy it. And enjoy my life and do good things and do what I'm doing. And it helps so much for someone like me to have a quality guitar, though. That's a big part of that, because, you know, I don't get it all right all the time, but when I do get it right, I don't want it to, you know, I want the guitar to have my back, you know. Yeah. I want a beautiful, I'm trying to create a joyous noise. Yeah. You know. Well,
I mean, we just want people to enjoy music, you know, and the tagline that we always use here is to make and inspire music. And that's our whole reason for existing. Mm. It's not just about making the guitars, it's the music that is made through those guitars. And I think, you know, it's a combination of it being a beautiful guitar that visually inspires you, that plays well, sonically inspires you, and then gives you that freedom that you're not scared to have it sitting out there on a stand beside your favorite chair every day. You know, you're not having to hide it away in a case, scared that it might change. So that freedom as well, you know, so those things combined makes it special.
The end result, Alistair, is in the last 2 years, having these emeralds, the amount of time I sit with one of these guitars in my hand, a guitar in my hand, has gone up tenfold. Mm-hmm. And part of that is the sound, but a part of it is the connection, the playability of these guitars. I mean, I grabbed some of my other guitars now and I was just like, yuck. You know, these things are so well crafted and machined, and the neck is just so slick, and everything's where it's supposed to be. The precision is just so dead on that it's changed my experience as a musician, because I spend so much more time with the guitar in my hands now.
Well, that is the perfect way to end it. That's all I need to hear, is that it inspires you to play more.
Yep, you've done that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So thanks, Lance, for coming in and picking up the guitar in person, and giving us some of your insights into why you've chosen our guitars and carbon guitars in general. And we love hearing stories from people that have just found the freedom that you get from owning a carbon fiber guitar, like many on this rack have previously found and are going to find as they live with our guitars. So right, this one is going to Hayo in Japan. and this is an X10. So the veneer on the top of this is candy stripe Padauk. What wonderful colors, absolutely stunning colors going on here with these beautiful oranges and reds and browns. So much color, so much depth to that, absolutely beautiful. Now the back and sides is vibrant red, and that matches so beautifully to that top. Very, very cool. Pickup system we've got going on here is our adjustable Graphtec piezos, and we've got a volume control mounted just in here, and that's a really great pickup system on an X10. Gives you all that adjustability, but gives you a really great piezo sound going on there. So the X10 is kind of like our slim acoustic guitar. It's not the slim body, it's the full bodied version of it, but it's got a nice slim profile neck, much more of an electric feeling neck on it. And with the contours and designs on it, it's a very, very comfortable guitar to play. Great acoustic sound, great plugged in sound, and all around the X10 is a really great guitar in our lineup. Now this is another X10. This is going out to John in California, but as I said, every one in this rack is a different model. So what makes this a different model is the fact that it's half the thickness. So this is an X10 Slimline. So we have the same contour neck, the same body dimensions, same contours on the back, but it's just made half an inch or half the thickness, and that really has a big impact on how it overall feels when you're playing it with a strap. So if you like that nice slim contours, much more of an electric guitar feel, then the X10 Slimline is a great choice. Now pickup system that we've got going on here, this is really cool because you've got the Crevo humbucker, you've got the Graphtec piezos, and you've got 13-pin output as well. So you've got an awful lot of different choices in terms of how you control this from a pickup point of view. We've got individual volume controls and then switching between the necks as well and the different pickups. So fantastic pickup system on that, very, very versatile. Again, candy stripe Padauk veneer, and as you can see, it's, you can see how similar it is, but at the same time with a very, very different grain pattern, but similar colors, very beautiful indeed. And then we've got the red and gold. I think the red and gold is a great choice going on here. So we've got the red vines with leaves, and it's red, or it's maybe, it might actually even be more like a phoenix orange going on there to match the top. Then gold hardware on the top, and then we've got the vibrant red back and sides. So very nice color combinations. Really, really great acoustic guitar, both plugged in and acoustically. I mean, if you're looking for the bigger sound, obviously the bigger body will give you a little bit more depth and sound, but the Slimline really doesn't lose all that much, but amplified sounds absolutely powerful. Now this is going out to Carl in Wisconsin, and this is an X10 Slimline nylon. So exact same body as the previous one. The difference is we mold it with quite different materials. So we put a lot of different material into the top. We give it a lot less strength, so we lighten it down so it'll respond better to the nylon strings, and then obviously we design the bridge differently. So the bridge is designed with the tie bridge, and then we get the beautiful slotted headstock on there. So that's our signature slotted headstock. It's got this step design, and the concept behind the step design, apart from looking really cool, it keeps the strings pulling very straight, and I just like always the sort of that symmetry of it, the way it pulls, and very, very functional. So black carbon, really nice classic black carbon look. That's a wonderful nylon. So next up we have the Virtuo. So these have been all, very much acoustic instruments. This is an acoustic instrument that's designed more as an electric guitar. And so the Virtuo has that same body. We use the exact same mold as we do for the X10 Slimline. We again tailor the materials a little bit differently in the top, just to handle all the hardware that's being mounted onto it. And we've given it a Fishman Fluence humbucker. So one thing I'll say is the difference between the humbucker that we use here. So the Crevo is a slim humbucker that goes on the top of the guitar. We don't cut it into it, and it's designed to acoustically kind of match and complement the piezo pickups there. So it's to complement the acoustic sounds on the guitar. This is very different. This is an electric guitar pickup, the Fishman Fluence. They're cut into the top, so there's a hole put in here and here to allow it to go right inside the guitar. And this is a sound that is very much to contrast with the piezo acoustic sounds. So one's complementing, this is all about contrast. So you've got your regular acoustic piezo sounds that you can get a really nice acoustic sound out of this instrument, but whenever you go into the electrics, then you can blend those together and get some really, really interesting sounds going on. Right, what else have we got going on? We have the green. Now I'm going to take a guess. I should have checked. I think this is Paldao. Pretty sure it is, with that light wood and black pattern running through it. Then we've given a transparent green over the top. That looks very, very cool. And it's got a really nice iridescence to it, a lot of movement on that top. And then we've got the inlays, which is the green and gold. So the vines with dots, in gold with the green dots, and then the gold hardware. So that's a really nice green and gold combination. Back and sides, green carbon. And yeah, that's a very cool guitar. Love that. So that's going out to Mark in Australia. And then we're going to James in Georgia. So this is an X20. The X20 is sort of the center point of our Emerald Guitars range. It's our full body acoustic guitar, and it's sort of about dreadnought size. Absolutely sounds fantastic. And you see we've added a lot of contours, so it's a very comfortable guitar to play. You know, as Lance was saying, it's whenever he sat down and played an Emerald, it felt different. You could see there was just something a little bit different about how these guitars feel with the contours. And yeah, so beautifully contoured guitar. This one is flame maple with vintage amber burst. Absolutely lovely. Just check out how it moves. So much depth on that top. Got black hardware and a black carbon back and sides. So really nice contrast between the black carbon and that wonderful warm veneer on top. So now we're going to Andre in Norway, and he's gone for an X30 12 string. So we're getting increasingly larger in our sizes here. So the X30 is our biggest body of acoustic guitar, and so the X30 is a big jumbo, really, really large sized guitar, but with the contours doesn't feel overly big. But it's that body size that really gives it the power. And this is a 12 string, so it really suits wonderfully to a jumbo. So you've got all the bass, but then with the octave strings, you've got extra trebles going on here. So it sings. There's quite a choir comes out of this guitar. Wonderful, wonderful sound. Beautiful instrument with this candy stripe Paduk. Again, quite a different look. Very, very different pattern than the previous ones that we've looked at. But very, very striking, wonderful colors going on. Black hardware and a red carbon back and sides. So it's a beautiful guitar and beautiful sounds. Now, so we're going from 12 strings to 18 strings. This is going out to Harry in Kansas, and Harry has chosen the Chimera. So maybe it was a case he couldn't choose between an Emerald 6 string or a 12, so got it combined. And the Chimera is a wonderful example of what we can do with carbon fiber. It's able to take all that tension of the 18 strings very comfortably. We've been able to make it in a very ergonomic way, and in a way that's going to last a lifetime and maybe multiple lifetimes. So, the veneer on the top of this is Cocobolo. Absolutely stunning piece of Cocobolo. It's got a very nice flame running through it, and that light strip running up the center. Really adds a lot of drama to that top. The pickup system, we've got the Krivo humbucker with the graph tape piezos, and K&K undersaddle on the 12 string side. We've got the 3 volume controls for all 3 pickups, and a little 3-way that switches between the different necks right there. So that is that. The back is amber. Perfect choice with the Cocobolo top. Nice one. Now we have Andreas in Illinois. So check this out. So yeah, a few things going on here. I haven't looked at the full specifications, but definitely feels like it's a slightly custom neck width there. It's fan frets, and we've done quite a few guitars over the years with fan frets, a few harp guitars, but always nice to see them coming through. So fan fret design, and I think the fan fret on a harp guitar kind of matches nicely with the way we angle the bridge as well for the harp side. So what we've got is oh, I almost said 6-string. That's what it is. It's a 7-string. So I'm not that sharp today. I think I didn't get enough sleep. So 7-string harp guitar. That's why it feels a lot wider. And so 7-string harp guitar. We've made a custom bridge for it. And that's maybe the first time. Well, no, it's not the first time we've made a 7-string harp guitar, but we haven't made that many of them. So 7 on the neck, 6-string here, because I almost said it's a 6-string neck, but no, it's a 7. So so yeah, very, very cool. 7-string, 6 extra subs. We've got the silver rings here on the fretboard, and black hardware with black carbon. Black carbon back and sides. That's a wonderful instrument. So we love doing the synergies. It's something we've been doing for, I guess, about maybe 12 years now, I think. And I've really loved having them as part of it. It really showcases, just like the Chimera does, just the depth of design that we can do with carbon fiber, with those unusual shapes and taking all that tension. Now, the last one we've got is going out to Roger in California. And check this big boy out. This is the Balor. So it's an acoustic bass. And when I said, actually, I think I said that the X30 is our largest body. No, the Balor obviously is the largest body, but it kind of sits in a slightly different category, I guess. But we wanted to build an acoustic bass that had wonderful tone and usable volume. You know, there's no use in having an acoustic bass if it has to be plugged in all the time. So I was chasing after tone and volume and playability, and this is what we ended up with. So it's a very contoured shape, as you can see. That really accommodates for the ergonomics of this instrument. It makes it very comfortable despite its size, and just the overall way that the top is built, the layering and the way it's been manufactured just gives it a really wonderful, warm, rich sound. This one with that cocobolo veneer, stunning. It's got a very, very cool quilting going on it. Very interesting quilt just here at this part. Really has so much depth to it, and very, very interesting top. We've got white dots on the fretboard, black hardware, and then the vibrant red back and sides. So yeah, wonderful guitar. We're currently doing some development or redevelopment on our acoustic basses, and we're going to be very soon adding a 6-string into the range. So at the moment it's 4 and 5, but in the past we've done 6 strings, we've done 7 strings, we've even done 12-string acoustic basses. So so we're going to do a little bit more in the acoustic bass world, and excited to do that. So hopefully that'll be out there and maybe launched this side of Christmas. So keep an eye out for that. So that's it, guys. My voice is going a little bit today, so hopefully I was getting through that all right. But thanks for watching. Thanks again to Lance for coming in. And make sure and go and check out Lance's own YouTube channel, and keep abreast of what he's doing. Maybe you might see the guitar in it sometime as well. But I'm thinking someday, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to come out there, see what he does, and maybe he'll take me fishing. So guys, wherever you are, have a great weekend, and play some guitar. See you soon. Bye.